Hey, what's up guys, George here, aka T-WreckSs, bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video. And as you can see, we have a Fire Night tournament running right now in game, so I thought this would be a good time to do an early game Fire Night tutorial. So this is for newer players who haven't played very long and want to know a bit more about the Fire Night. I recently did an early mid-game spider tutorial, so if you want to check that out, it's linked in the corner right now. Where do you find the Fire Night? Same place you find the spider, in the dungeons. You scroll all the way to the end and there he is. So you can get certain gear from the Fire Night. It isn't really that useful early game, but obviously you have to build your way up through the earlier stages before you can get to the later stages to get where this gear is really useful. Immunity gear, fantastic for the arena. Shield gear, good everywhere, and if you haven't seen my video, I have the shield gear explained up here. Crit damage is great everywhere, and stun gear and savage gear both great everywhere. So let's have a look at Fyro, the Fire Knight. He obviously starts in Force Affinity and works his way through and then rotates like every other one. You can see here I'm at stage 18 currently, but we are going to look between stage 1 and stage 6 because that is after that is where his mechanics change. So let's jump into stage 6 and have a little look here. So he's Spirit Affinity, and here he is. We're just going to take these people out. Now what you need for the Fire Knight is you need multi-hitters if you don't have a counter attack or a reflect damage, and you also need people who can then take down the Fire Knight. So you need people who can kill the waves. There's 2 waves for the Fire Knight, and then the Fire Knight has a mechanic with a shield, which we'll get into in a minute. So you need multi-hitters that can take him down. So if I have a quick look at my champs, we'll see who we've got. Also, turn meter reduction can be really helpful. So we're going to actually look at a few characters right now. We're going to use... who should we use? Let's have a little look. Okay, so I'm going to use some low-level characters and some higher because I don't have that many low-level ones, but we're going to throw Kale in as our lead for the HP increase, and we'll talk about why in a minute. I'm going to throw in the uncommon Armiger because he has a turn meter reduction if he's built right. We are also going to throw in Soulbond Boya because she has turn meter reduction. Now so far he has a multi-hit, but these two only have single hits, so we need some multi-hitters. Some of you might have been lucky enough to pull a Coffin Smasher, so we're going to throw in Coffin Smasher. And if you were around more recently, you may have fused Cillian the Lucky. However, we're actually going to use Apothecary again because he has a 3-hit A1, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's jump into this stage of the Fire Night. The first thing you have to clear are these waves, which is where multi-hitters come in handy, as do AoE people. So let's just try and kill some of these. We're going to use Kale's AoE and hopefully take out most of the people here. Also, Soulbond Boya has an AoE as well, which is really nice. Just take out as many of these as we can. Boom. So that may take you a little bit longer. If your characters are lower level, you're obviously not going to hit as hard and your gear is not going to be as strong. So this is Fyro. When you get to Fyro, you see there's 4 things at the top. This first thing is his first attack, which is AoE. He then has another AoE which decreases your speed for 3 turns. Then a passive, Cloak of Fire. At the start of the battle, he starts with a Divine Shield. While active, he only receives 80% damage. Sorry. He reduces the damage by 80%. So you don't see the shield yet, but if I click on this speed boost, you'll see, boom. He puts up a shield. Now, level 1 through to level 6, he has 5 layers of shield. And what this shield does is he takes 80% less damage, and you cannot place any debuffs on him, such as poison, HP burn, decreased defense, decreased attack, until that shield is completely gone. This is why you either need people who hit multiple hits in a move, or if you have a counter attack, you can throw a counter attack in, and obviously if it's up at the right time, once he strikes you, you'll go in and counter attack. There is also the possibility of using reflect damage. If you have a reflect damage champion like Fellhound or Runic Warder, for example, I might try a run with him in a minute just to show you. They can reflect damage, and that counts as a hit on the shield. Obviously, if 5 people have reflect damage up, you'll take the shield down as soon as he hits you. So let's just go in. Armiger's A1 is a 1 hit, but Kale's A3 is a 4 hit. So this should take the shield completely down. Boom, shield is down. He is now vulnerable and ready for attack, which will take his health down at the normal rate, and for debuffs. And you'll see here his turn meter. When his turn meter hits full, he will get that shield back. So what we need to do is things that can reduce his turn meter, such as this one on Soulbond Boya. Boof. It didn't actually reduce his turn meter because it didn't crit, but that's fine. We have another triple hit on Apothecary there, and we have a triple hit on Coffin Smash, and obviously these are higher level characters in the middle. Boof. He hits you, he reduced speed on 2 of the characters, his shield is back at 5. Triple hit from Apothecary. We are then going to use a single hit from Armiga, and a hit there from Kale. And now we're at the point where we can use other moves to try and kill him. Speed everybody up, see if we can get Armiga to go again. Tomb Lord. Coffin Smasher, sorry. Using his thing. And there you go, that is how you beat the Fire Knight. So this was one setup. We had 1, 2 and 3 with multi-hits. We had Armiga in there for the turn meter reduction, but he never actually got to go. So let's have a look at a different setup that you might want to use for this. We're going to keep Apothecary because he's insane for this, and his aura will give you defense in the dungeon. We're then going to go and find someone with reflect damage. Now there is Fellhound who has reflect damage, but there are also other champions who have this. There are some rares. I believe this guy has it. And we can also maybe think about throwing in someone who can debuff, who can put some poisons or something up. Let's put Aethel in. She has a triple hit on her A1. Really, really useful there. And do we have... We're going to put Zelatar in because he's going to help protect. He's obviously an epic. And then we are going to throw in someone like... let's have a think. We're going to throw in an Allure. That's another epic there you might have. Now she's useful for turn meter reduction if you can get her to the boss. We're going to do the same stage because again this is just early game. So we have a speed up with the Apothecary. We then have AoE with Allure to try and take them down. That worked beautifully. Hit with Runic Water, and then a hit with Apothecary again. Now my Apothecary is obviously end game Apothecary. He's very fast, he's very tanky, but he can even work on a negative affinity Fire Knight. Let's just auto this to get through the second wave, and I'll stop it just before we get to the Fire Knight. Okay, boom, we're at the Fire Knight. So, Apothecary's A1, triple hit. That's going to take the shield down to 2 straight away. Then Allure has an attack 3 times on her A1, so she's going to take it down. She also reduces turn meter with her A1. So then we have here this 15% reflect damage buff and a 7.5 continuous heal for 2 turns. If we use that on everyone, you'll see here we get the little reflect damage logo. We're not going to speed everyone up because I want them to still have that when he takes his turn so you can see. We want to use something that's not going to take too much health just so you can see this. Triple hit from Aethel because that's all she's got left. Alright, now he puts his shield up and attacks. So you see that reflect damage, because it was on all 5 people, took the shield completely out. Now you can just go ahead and attack him. I'm going to take his turn meter down with her A1. Boom, turn meter's down, he's not going to take a go. Runic Water's coming in, and you see he's only level 40, so is Zelatar. And so is Aethel's only level 30, so we're going to heal her quickly. We are going to hit. We are going to hit. Triple hit. That would also take the shield down by 3 if she had that ability when his shield is up. So she's really useful on it. Let's see if we can get a decreased defense off. We did. And then we're going to get a double hit with a decreased attack, hopefully. So these debuffs are all useful when he comes back at you. He's going to hit now. So you see also he heals up when he puts his shield up, which is something you can also use heal reduction debuff if you need to be able to stop him healing back up. But that's essentially how you could be. These are 2 teams that you could have used if you have these champions. Obviously you're going to have different champions. Look through your champions, check them out. If people have turn meter reduction like Armiga does, he's a really good example of an uncommon who has turn meter reduction if he crits, and you just build him with 100% crit rate. Or anyone who has double hitters or triple hitters on their A1 and big moves, or even like multiple hitters on their A2, 3, 4, like Kale. He does only have a single hit A1, but if you picked him as your starter, which I would advise doing, he has the AoE to get through the waves, and then he has a 4x hitter, and obviously at random there's only the Fire Knight to hit. So I hope this video has helped you out a little bit with early Fire Knight. After stage 6 his shield goes up to 10, so having a counter attack or a reflect damage is a lot more helpful, and having multiple hitters is a lot more helpful. I'll tell you what, I will show you just quickly my run of the Fire Knight, just to show you what it's actually like later on. I'm doing stage 16 at the minute because I know I can complete it. We're just going to go in quickly and put in the champs I use. I normally run Tyrell for defense, Stag Knight, and then I also have my Skull Crusher in for counter attack, Raz in for his triple hit, and Apothecary for his triple hit. And you'll see what they do now. Obviously Stag Knight and Tyrell have similar moves. They both have decreased defense and decreased attack in different ways. So you'll see my guys clear this in 1 to 3 minutes normally. They take down the waves. We have a triple hit in Apothecary on his A1, a triple hit in Razin on his A1. Obviously, Skull Crusher, if you're lucky enough to have him, is insane. He puts up the counter attack across them, so they then attack. Before they've even attacked, they've taken his shield out. And we have double hits on Tyrell and Stag Knight for their A1s, with obviously decreased defense, decreased attack, decreased speed across the board, decreased defense and weaken on Razin, which is nice. But this is a later game team. Obviously with the 10 layers of shield, you need some way of taking that down. If you have a full team of hard hitting multi-hit A1s, then you can do that, but it will obviously take longer if you can throw a counter attack in, or if you can throw a reflect damage in that takes 5 of that shield down. You only have to worry about getting through 5, but again, this is a later game team. So you can see now we're through to the Fire Knight, 10 layers of shield. My guys all use the wrong moves straight away. That's just the way the AI works, unfortunately. So he'll probably go off and attack us. We did get the shield down, so we won't lose any of our max HP, which you do with one of his moves. Here we go. Decreases max HP and heals himself, which I talked about earlier. These guys are now doing their multi-hits because they've got the counter attack up. When he hits them now, the 2 counter attack will go in, so he'll hit 2, then Razin will hit 3, then the other guys will take their 10. They'll knock the shield down and they'll take his health down. I'll jump to just near the end of the fight right now. So you'll notice now I have a heal reduction debuff of 50% from my Skull Crusher. Now his accuracy is low because I use him in Clan Boss, but Stag Knight here gives him a 50% increased accuracy if he's resisted by the Fire Knight, which is nice. Obviously that heal reduction is gone, but it stops the Fire Knight healing up fully. When these guys start doing their moves in the right order, which will come around eventually, the Fire Knight when his shield is open is the perfect time to try and reduce his turn meter, stop him taking turns, and then take down his health as much and as quickly as possible. Royal Guard can also be good in this. He has a 4 hit on his A3. Obviously doesn't come around as often as these guys with the multi-hitters on their A1s, but he also has that big enemy max HP takedown nuke, which can take the Fire Knight's health down massively, very quickly. So preemptive strike there from Tyrell took the guy's turn meter down so he can attack. It gave us time to get counter attack up and take out more of his health, which was really, really nice. And we're about to beat this Fire Knight. He'll take a bash. We will go in 4 people, all with counter attack up, all with multi hits, so that shield comes down in one go and everybody gets to take their actual turn when he's more vulnerable, which is nice. There's that increased accuracy and the Fire Knight is down, so that's a later game Fire Knight, which is pretty cool for you guys to see. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, comment below with any videos you'd like to see or any questions you have about anything. This was an early game Fire Knight video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, get online and get wrecking.